This is a version of Mastermind, which I made in Minecraft a while back, but it could be a lot better. So today we will be making Mastermind 2.0. And I'll start off with the explanation. Basically, you'd play this game with a friend, but since I don't have friends, I decided to make a machine that would play it for me. And the machine will generate a random code, in this case, blue, green, purple. Then you have to guess the code in here. Let's say I want to guess red, blue. I'll put enter there. Then eventually, the game will spit out the code here. There you go, there's the code I made. And then it'll drop an armor stand down to tell me how many of those colors are correct and in the right spots, how many of them are correct but in the wrong spots, and how many are just wrong. And there's the armor stand that tells us that two of the pieces, represented by the iron armor here, are the correct color, but they're in the wrong spot. And the netherite tells us that two of the colors are just completely wrong. And based on that information, you have to find out what the correct code is in 10 guesses or less. But like I said, this could be a lot better. And starting off with the armor stand system, it's very difficult to see which guess corresponds with which armor stand. And it's overall just very visually confusing. Plus, once you get to the top armor stand positions, it's kind of difficult to see what color their boots are. So that's one thing I want to address. But the main thing is the time. It takes forever once you submit your guess to actually get the armor stand. So I think that can be sped up quite a bit. The third thing would be the size of this thing. It is rather huge, and I think I can make it at least a bit smaller. Now that we've set some goals, I want to get an outline in place so we can kind of figure out where everything's going to go. And for like this border, I'm not sure if I want to use smooth quartz or iron blocks. Smooth quartz has this connected texture look, and it looks really nice. But the iron blocks also like have this harsh border, and it looks more secure and solid. So I think I'll just build everything up and then kind of decide between those two. But overall, I want it to kind of match this block, the entire machine, because I think this block just looks pretty and it kind of has a futuristic feel to it. I think I'll stick with quartz though for a while and just see how it looks, and if we decide to go with iron blocks later, we can change it out. Thinking this spot will be the guess spot, and then to either side of it, I think we're going to have an armor stand. I think that'll help with the clutter. The armor stand here will have some sort of like separator wall, it might be out of glass, and then you'll have the 4 dispensers that will dispense the shulker boxes to show what the code is. I'm going to build this back a little bit, and I'll build up one side and show you, and then we can build up the other side. I started building this segment, but I'm thinking I can't put glass here because the flying machine I'm going to use is going to have slime blocks, and the glass will just get in the way, so that has to be gone. And I tried to separate it using this darker glass to just visually show it, but now I'm wondering if I even need to do that. Oh yes, I do. If I don't separate it, then the fence gates will get in the way. Never mind. I'll leave it. I'm not sure about this gray line though. I might replace this with white glass and just not have it separated like that. I think it looks nicer actually. I'll keep it like that for now. So this is what I've come up with, and I'm actually really happy with how it looks. Just quite surprising. I'm not really a good builder. I will rotate all these terracotta pieces so that they line up properly, but no, that's a later project. I also put the shulkers in and a couple armor stands so you can kind of see what they look like. These fence posts are really nice because they elevate the armor stands, so they're kind of like halfway in between the blocks, so you can really see that they line up with each of their codes. And we also brought this down to the floor, so you can still see it because of the glass, but this one's lower, which also makes the top lower, so it's easier to see all of them. Then we'll duplicate that on the other side, and I think this will be very easy to see which armor stand goes to which code, and we can label this like first guess, second guess, third guess, fourth guess, and we'll put a sign right in the middle there. Let's see, what else? Oh, also the fence gates just kind of get hidden in the armor stand, so it's not very obtrusive. Yeah, I think I'll just mirror this over to the other side and see what it looks like. Okay, I finished mirroring it on both sides, and I really like the symmetry, but I'm afraid they might not be close enough together to make it like easy to see. Like you look at this side and like, oh, I have to go all the way over here to look at this side. I don't know if that'll affect gameplay. You can tell me in the comments if you want. The other thing that you can comment on is the signs. I've just put these there just kind of as an example. They're hard to read from far away, so maybe we want to make like a giant 3 out of the different characters on the board. I don't know what to do there, but I'm pretty happy with the layout so far, so I kind of want to switch gears to the code setter. I'm not sure whether to put it above or below it, but I do have something in mind for it. Basically, I'm going to put dispensers right here. Going to have shulker boxes pop out of them and have that just be the code. And that should be a lot smaller than this, because this entire section right here plus this section in here is what randomizes the code and sets it. They have these piston feed tapes which rotates the correct code, And these little blocks in here each dispense a random shulker box to set the code. So by just putting the code right here, we can get rid of the entire piston feed tape and each randomizer thing, which controls the piston feed tape, which will save a lot of space if I can get it working properly. And this is what I have come up with. If we flick this line, we get shulker boxes out of each thing, and hopefully we'll be able to view these. So like in this design, you'd view them from the top. So depending on where we put it, we'll have to mess with the design. But once these shulker boxes have amount of items in them, you'll get a signal strength through here, and it'll save the code in this mechanism. So we'll break these. They'll hopefully fall into their hoppers. This retracts, and then the code is good to set again for the next game. Now, my main concern is, I'll just show you. If the block gets broken off and doesn't go directly here, but it kind of comes to the side here and lands in this hopper, in that case, you'd get a problem where the different colored shulker boxes will go into the wrong dropper, and that would be bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a machine that'll kind of brute force test this and just make sure that doesn't happen. And with this very loud and kind of annoying machine in place, it'll just rapidly, continuously test this. And so hopefully if there are any problems with this, we'll find it. So I'm just going to let this run for a while, and hopefully it doesn't reveal a problem. Okay, it's probably been close to an hour. I'm going to turn that off because it's kind of loud. Just check. Dang it. Man, I was afraid of that. Don't worry, I have an idea. If I just put mine carts over it. Nope. Dang it, it pushes the minecart over. Darn, I was hoping minecarts would pick it up before it had any time to do any like sort of horizontal travel. So it would just go bam into the hopper minecart and straight into the hopper below it. But they keep pushing each other over. Oh, that was my only idea, so it's time to randomly jump around until I think of a new one. Well, instead of actually thinking of a solution, I just rotated the terracotta blocks so they'd be in the right orientation. Okay, here's a potential solution, which causes each block to be pushed in the opposite direction, so hopefully there wouldn't be any mismatching of the shulkers. But in the solution, you'd have to... Well, that's not right. What's going on there? That was weird. I don't know why that happened. We'll come back to that. But I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, the problem with this is you have it going off in either direction, so it takes up a lot more space rather than just both going off the same way. So that's a potential downside. And you'd have to view this one from above. How peculiar. I wonder if I turn the... Whoa, what? How's that being powered? What is going on? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, I've restarted Minecraft to see if that fixes anything, and it does not. Huh. I don't know why that problem is occurring, but replacing this block with the last block seems to have fixed it. That's really weird. But okay. I think I'm gonna hook up the same little tester system to this machine and just let it run while I try to think of another idea. That way we can just see if this one will work, and then I can be trying to figure something else out in the meantime. Okay, it's been a little while, and I've come back to the original design, and I managed to get the minecarts in without them overlapping or being all weird. So hopefully when the shulker boxes break, they'll go into each minecart before it has time to travel over to the adjacent unit. So we're just gonna let this run for a while. Well, that made it significantly worse. These two dispensers are completely empty, and these two are full. This plan did not work either. Oh my goodness. I really wanted that to work. Oh well, time to start thinking again. Alright, this design might work. If it doesn't, I'm going to stick with that design, which should work. I should be able to get it to work, but I'm not too fond with it, so I want to come up with another design. Well, unfortunately, that design is not going to work, so I'm going to go with the other design, and we're just going to start building it right here. Now, I've got to be careful when building this, because I'm thinking once they submit their guess, concrete powder will fall, and break down here and get processed somewhere down here. But I have to make sure that it has room to fall, so this can only go up to like this block. And that's the somewhat tricky part. Alright, I think this will work, and it's actually fairly small. So we'll flick the green level, which will dispense our shulker boxes. The blue lever here will cover it, so you can't see the code. And then the cyan lever right here will break the shulker box. Ooh, that's a problem. Anyway, the cyan shulker will break the shulker boxes so that they get put back in the dispensers. I think this needs to be closed when the shulker boxes get broken so they don't fly up, instead fly to the sides. But I think this will work. And I think I'm going to leave the floor glass, at least in some spots, because I think it'll be cool to be able to see the redstone. And with that done, I think that's all I actually wanted to do today. We've got the layout kind of laid out, and we got the code maker in place. I think I've decided that I like the smooth quartz, better than the iron blocks, and I like the regular glass over stained glass. I think it's just much more clear. For the code maker, I did have to put blocks here because if it's not there, you can see the code right there. You know, that one's orange. So I need to expand this, but I'm not sure if I like the iron blocks there. I know I don't like it if it's just quartz here, because it's just a weird shape, so I kind of like the idea of having another border, but I don't know what block to make it out of. So for now, I guess I'll just leave it as iron blocks. But I'm really excited about this project. I'm going to do it in episodes just so if we get to a particularly hard part or we'll lose motivation for it, I can kind of put it on the back burner for a bit and come back to it later when I'm more excited about it. But I think it's really cool. I'm very excited about this project. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.